Well, what's going on, Cardinal Nation? Man, what a very, very rough and disappointing game tonight. Losing in this one and giving up a season high 14 runs. That's right, losing to the Kansas City Royals 14-6, in which half of their runs, 7 of their 14 runs, were within the first 2 innings alone. And they had 17 hits. Matthew Liberatore did not make it through 2 innings. Gave up 5 runs on 7 hits. Struck out 2. And it's been an up and down season for Libby, the opening day starter. He has not gotten through 6 full innings in uh, over a month now. Actually, has only gotten through 6 innings, 6 full innings twice this season. So he's not pitching a ton of innings. He's also got a number of no decisions. So, um, so up and down season form for sure. The Cardinals would take a 1-0 lead in the first inning as J.J. Weatherholt would walk, and then Ivan Herrera with, or rather, Weatherholt with the single, Herrera with a walk, and then Jordan Walker with an RBI ground out, and actually an error by the star shortstop Bobby Wood Jr. to put us up 1-0. And then Alec Burleson with his hitting streak on the line, he would hit a sacrifice fly to score Herrera and put us up 2-0. So a great start early on, and then in the bottom of the first, Kansas City would get the run back to make it 2-1. A solo home run by Bobby Wood Jr. It's been a MVP finalist the past 2 years, likely will again this year, and this is his 10th home run of the year, so that would make it a 2-1 game. The Royals then come back in the bottom of the second, tied up 2-2. RBI double by rookie catcher, the DH in this one, Carter Jensen. That would tied up 2-2. And then Nick Lofton would give them a 3-2 lead with an RBI double. Then an error by Nelson Velasquez to make it 4-2. Then Lane Thomas with a double to make it 5-2. Bobby Wood Jr. with a single to make it 6-2. And Liberatore charged with 7 runs, 5 of them earned, and Gordon Graceffa would then have to come in for long relief. He would give up a double to Starling Marte, the longtime Pirate. So that would make it a 7-2 game. I mean, still a lot of game left, obviously, but that was not what we wanted. After our pitchers really in all 3 games in the series against the Padres did really solid, even in that 6-1 loss yesterday, they weren't all that bad in yesterday's game. And we would make it a 7-3 game in the fourth. Jordan Walker with his second RBI of the game to make it a 7-3 game. And we brought the tying run to the plate with the bases loaded down by 4, but Nelson Velasquez would strike out. So still a lot of game left. However, the Royals would take a 9-3 lead. 2-run home run by Jack Caglione to make it 9-3. And then we would see the Major League debut of the Cardinals, another Major League debut, at this time relief pitcher Max Radzik, a 6th-round pick in 2022, making his debut. And unfortunately, kind of in a rough circumstance with his team, trailing by a lot of runs. But 2 solid innings for him, for the rookie Radzik in his debut. 2 runs off the bat of Nick Lofton to make it an 11-3 game. And then Jose Fermin would make it an 11-4 game in the 5th. And Radzik would have a 1-2-3 5th inning with the strikeout. But then in the bottom of the 6th would give up a solo home run to Salvador Perez to make it a 12-4 game. So the rookie in his debut, 2 innings, would give up 2 runs, but honestly not all that bad. But obviously disappointing that it was in a a lopsided game. We would make it interesting in the seventh. We would have two hits back to back. Then Fermin would round out to make it 12-5. Then Pedro Pajes with a sac fly to make it 12-6. So with still 2 innings to go, we had a chance to make it an interesting game. J.J. Weatherholt would take ball four to load the bases for, or rather to put runners on for Herrera. He would ground out then Justin Brule on the mound in the bottom of the seventh. Lane Thomas with an RBI single to make it 13-6. And we had a chance in the eighth, which, with the bases loaded and one out, if we hit a grand slam, that would have cut the lead to 3, but unfortunately it would not happen. And the Royals get a run, their 14th run in the eighth on a wild pitch. And and Alec Burleson, well, his hit streak is now over. However, he reached base once via a walk. Also had a sac fly which drove in our second run of the game. So, in each of the first 8 batters in the Royals starting lineup had at least one RBI. And Bobby Wood Jr. had to leave the game due to a leg injury that he suffered, making a sliding play in the fourth. So hopefully nothing serious. Hopefully he can avoid going on IL because, he's the face of their franchise, obviously. So hopefully we can bounce back tomorrow night. It'll be Michael McGreevy getting the start against right-hander Seth Lugo for the Royals. We did not face him, I don't believe, when we faced him in St. Louis last month. So, but we also had 17 hits, or 13 hits rather, but stranded 15. So, this game could have been a lot different if we would have cashed those runs in. So till Friday, I'm just saying go Cards.